Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Cavanaugh's Corner. Thanks for coming back to the channel, and we just wanted to say thank you for subscribing. We've gotten quite a few new subscribers over the last couple days, and to all of those that subscribe, thank you. Your support is helping the channel grow, and we're on the road to 1,000. We're getting there, and I really appreciate your support. Today on the channel, I'm going to be talking about a pickup that was actually another one of these movies that was kind of hard to find. I actually wanted to get it the day it came out, but it was pretty much sold out everywhere. Even Amazon sold out of it, and I just so happened to stumble across it in a Best Buy recently, so I had to pick it up, and that is the first Avengers film, or if you want to get exact, it's Marvel's The Avengers, if you want to go by the title on the in the film. Basically, the reason why I wanted this was because I really love the Avengers films. The first one and the most recent one are definitely my favorites. Infinity War is definitely the best of the bunch in my opinion. But this first one was a movie that I remember when it came out, it really had to prove a point when it came out. And a lot of people didn't know if it was even going to work with all these characters. But Joss Whedon really did a great job of bringing them together and making a really cohesive and entertaining film. And that's what we have today on 4K. Now, I actually owned this movie originally when it came out on Blu-ray, and that was a pretty solid disc as well. This here puts that disc to shame, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today. We're going to go into detail in a minute, but the picture quality on this is absolutely amazing. It is one of the better releases I've seen in recent memory. Pretty much, guys, I'm not going to be talking about the movie itself. I'm going to be talking about the disc in here and how it compares to the older Blu-rays. I also had the 3D Blu-ray years ago, and that was a very good disc as well. The 3D, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of 3D. I don't even have a 3D TV anymore. That TV has long been gone. But I will say that this 4K disc is an achievement. The picture quality on this is really incredible. Now, I'm fairly certain this movie was shot almost like 90% digitally. So there is absolutely no film grain on this at all. And it's almost like you're watching stuff happen right in front of you. It's very beautiful. The picture on this is absolutely stunning. The HDR on this, now there is no Dolby Vision on this disc sadly, but the HDR10 on this is really incredible. It really makes colors pop. It really makes those bright explosions, and especially near the end of the film when all the Chitauri and stuff, when they are invading New York, that big battle at the end of New York, that part is really incredible with the HDR on this disc. On top of that, the audio on this does have a new Dolby Atmos mix, and the Dolby Atmos mix is not an extreme improvement over the old disc, but you can definitely tell it's a lot clearer. It's definitely more pronounced in terms of sound effects on this disc, way more than the last one. I really enjoyed the new sound mix on this disc. They did a phenomenal job with it. The set itself comes with the 4K disc, the Blu-ray disc. It's actually the same Blu-ray disc from years ago. There's nothing new on the Blu-ray disc. And it also comes with a digital copy. Sadly, I don't know what it is, but Disney's not big on doing digital copies with HDR. It's not a 4K digital copy, which is a shame. But the fact that it's there is nice. The real standout with this disc is just the up in picture quality. It is just really impressive. The special effects on this look absolutely incredible. There are a few moments here and there where you can definitely tell there's some CGI models. This is kind of one of the last movies I've seen where they used full body CGI for characters and it didn't look that great. This was right on the cusp of them really figuring out how to make full-body CGI models that didn't look like G.I. Joes or like rubber mannequin kind of things. There's one scene in the movie that you really don't notice it on the regular Blu-ray, but on the 4K you can see it, where Captain America jumps across this gap once the ship that they're on is attacked, the carrier that they're on gets attacked. And there's a moment where you see Captain America jump from one side to another, and it's very clearly CGI, and the 4K discs, I should say, not just this, but I reviewed E.T. a while back, and that movie, the special effects in that did not age well at all. I mean, I love that movie to death. It's one of my favorite films of all time. But the 4K really, really makes those moments stand out even more than they normally would. And I'd have to say the CGI in this overall looks really, really good in 4K, except for one or two moments. The overall thing with this film that I thought was outstanding is just how beautiful this movie looks with the HDR. The extended color palette that you get with the high dynamic range on this really makes this one just really stand out. I mean, it looked good back then, but it looks even better with the HDR. Now, black levels in this is the real thing that I want to talk about. The black levels on this disc look amazing. The beginning of the film where they're evacuating the SHIELD headquarters there, it's at nighttime, and the external shots that are at night really, really do benefit from this 4K disc. The old Blu-ray, there was some there was actually a lot of crush. There was some moments that were very, very hard to see. And in this one here, everything looks absolutely beautiful. There's a scene where they're chasing down a tunnel. There's like a car chase, short little car chase down a tunnel. And not only do you get some really interesting black levels in that scene, but you also get these new color palettes from the bulbs that are actually in the tunnel. They look very different on the 4K disc than they do on the standard Blu-ray, and that's just the HDR doing its job. I mean, it really is just a very much improved picture all around. The sound on it, I'd say, is an improvement. It's not an extreme improvement, but it's an improvement. The Dolby Atmos soundtrack really does a good job of placing sounds where they should be. The surrounds and everything are hard at work throughout the entire film. There is some good overhead in this film. The scenes where anybody is flying overhead really uses the overheads, and those scenes, especially in the last scenes in the movie where they're in the battle in New York, that scene there really, really does a good job of using the overheads. Again, it's not a lot of usage, but it's enough where you notice it, and I think it's really, really a big improvement over the Blu-ray disc. Everything on the 4K disc is a big improvement over the Blu-ray disc. It's hands down the best the movie has ever looked. Sounds incredible, and that's really all you can ask out of a 4K disc. This is hands down one of the best 4K Blu-ray discs that I own, and you don't lose anything by buying this package because it has the old Blu-ray in it as well, so you get all the special features on the old Blu-ray. Again, I don't know why they're not putting more special features on the 4K discs, but I think it's because they want to put as much stuff, they want to basically save as much space on that disc for the movie and the soundtrack and everything, which is, I'm fine with that. But you do get, like I said, you do get a digital copy as well. The other thing I wanted to mention that I think is important is the fact that, and it's something that for some reason a lot of people didn't really comment on when this disc came out, but the aspect ratio on the 4K disc is actually slightly different than the regular Blu-ray, and I'll kind of tell you what that means. Basically, the 4K disc is 1:85:1, and the regular Blu-ray, and I think also the 3D Blu-ray, is 1:78:1, and it's not a big difference, but the aspect ratio is slightly different. The 1:78:1, there is basically no bars on screen. It's a very, very much just filled picture. The 4K disc has very, very slight bars on the top and bottom. And, I mean, to be honest with you, to the viewer that doesn't really care about this stuff, it's not a big deal. To me, I like it when the original aspect ratio is preserved on the disc. And I'm glad that they kept the original 1:85 to 1 aspect ratio for the disc. I really love it when they preserve that. It's a shame that the last Avengers film, the Infinity War disc, the 4K disc, or the Blu-ray, does not have any of the IMAX ratios on it. It's really a shame they didn't do that, but that disc is also absolutely fantastic, as is this. But overall, the first Avengers film is definitely worth buying on Blu-ray. If you can get it on sale, grab it, but I'm going to be honest with you, I think I paid $29, $28, $25, $25 to $29 for this, but I was not disappointed. It's definitely worth it. It's an absolutely phenomenal disc, and it is one of the best looking movies I own. It is just a phenomenal watch, especially if you love this film. If you love this film, this movie is probably never going to look any better than this, so definitely pick up Avengers on 4K. Anyway, I'm Andrew Cavanaugh. Thank you for coming back to the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. I really would appreciate it. The channel is growing, as I mentioned earlier, and it's only going to get better from here. Thank you so much, and good night.